Richard O'Brien. It's nice to see you. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Tell me, Richard, how did this play come about? I mean, how did the political climate internationally inspire you to create the Kingdom of Bling?
Well, I'm a very kind of liberal human being. Liberal democracy is the greatest world to live. We'd all like to live in a utopia. That's impossible. But the far right, the greed of the far right, is so ugly, and there's nothing nice to be said about it. And the cruelty, and the belittlement, and the intentional dividing of America is shocking. It is disgusting the way it's been allowed to happen. And because good people, but what we need to do is get back to centre politics, really, where we can argue about the serious issues of the day, and form intelligent opinions and find solutions, but not this driven by fear. The ugliness of it is, the worst of it is, the most negative thing about this, because it is a dog-eat-dog world. There's what Trump is saying. He's saying it's a dog-eat-dog world, and I'm top dog. He's not getting into the White House. Isn't about looking after America. It's being the top dog, and he wants it at America as his fiefdom. But the ugliness of that situation is they might all say they've got friends, but none of them will ever have a real friend, because they won't trust anybody. How can you trust anybody if that's your ideology? That's what drove me to write this piece, because I find Trump is such a disgusting human being, a disgrace to humanity, and we need to stand up and shout out loud. We need to save liberal democracy.
And you found one way to do that by creating this fabulous production, if you like. So how do you match the creative production, or mix the creative production with the frustration that you have for American politics to a point where you actually enjoyed the creative process, or did you enjoy it?
I was driven to write it, but the playing of it is great fun. And because I hate agitprop theatre. I hate going to the theatre and being beaten over the head with a message. I'd find it. There has been in the past. There has been theatre that's had muscle and had a definite effect upon social issues. Shadow of a Gunman in the Gate Theatre in Dublin back in the 1920s is a perfect example of that. Waiting for Lefty in New York City was first performed down on the docks to the dockers, and when Lefty made his speech, the dockers rose as one man and roared their approval. There has been those sort of things, but I don't, and I regret not being there on those first nights, but I wouldn't. My job is to entertain. That's our job, to make people that make the hearts beat a little faster. And raise our hopes and spirits and have fun and laugh. Satire is a wonderful way to deal with evil, I think. Laugh at it, belittle it in that kind of way.
I like how some of your public relations statements that have come out, regarding this production, and they always say things like, it's set in a particular time. Yours doesn't say that. Yours says set in a time of confusion. And I wondered what was behind that statement.
Well, I think America democracy it's very clear that nobody is above the law is a central pillar of democracy, and to even rule on it is an admission of a need to weaken democracy. It's shameful, well, I'm babbling. Forgive me.
Tell me, for those who are not aware of the storyline or the plot, don't give too much away, but the Kingdom of Bling, it's coming to Christchurch. Essentially, what do you want people to take away from it? I know you're not into sort of messages and all that sort of stuff.
Night.
But
this will be a happy night. I want it to be a party night. There'll be no fourth wall. We'll do that. We'll present the Kingdom of Bling in the first half, and in the second half, I will be sitting there with a chair with a guitar, and we've got orchestra. We got have the band anyway, and I have the players and singers. So that the second half is party time, and any questions that the audience want to fire at me. That's basically. Now, have a happy time. If the audience feels happier when they leave when they came in, we've done our job.
Well, that's a good thing. I know. I think the last time I met you and went to one of your productions, I think it was a one-man band from my recollection. But gee, I can barely remember the Aurora Centre in Burnside High School. That was some years ago now, and you're still creating, and you're still doing your thing, and being a genius as that you are.
Chris, it wasn't you that gave me that wonderful review, was it?
Yes, of course it was.
My darling boy, how could I ever say thank you enough? That was the best review I've ever had in my life.
Well, it was all true, and I absolutely had the most amazing time, and I took my mum, and we absolutely loved it. And I said to my mother that I was chatting to you today, and she said, I wish you would just rest. He's always on the go, that man. And I wondered, do you ever think about relaxing? Are you a relaxing person or an active relaxer, Richard?
I'm a couch vegetable. I am. I sit on the sofa with the television on, generally on YouTube. Because I get the algorithms take me down the rabbit holes that I want to go, and if all fails, there's nothing there. I could put on the crackling log fire with some elevator jazz playing in the background, and I doodle all day. I have a little pad writing. I have drawing pads all around me and pencils all around me, and I spend my entire day doodling.
What a good thing! What was the last thing you doodled?
Probably. Oh dear, it could have been rude. I'm not. Yes, it could have been. I tell you what I do. I do my doodles are generally these days because I do need a subject. So I find fairy tales are rather good to go into. So and you see, my drawing is close but no cigar. My drawing is not bad, but it just falls short of great, and sometimes it gets quite good, very good maybe, but there's a bit of luck involved in that. And so what I do is introduce humour into the drawing, and then it's not judged as a drawing. People look at the picture and they see the comic element of it, and they go, "Well, that's funny." And by the way, not badly drawn either. They would never say that if they'd come out. If I drew a vase of flowers, for instance, they wouldn't say, "Oh, not bad." But if I put a little mouse behind it and it becomes funny, they'll go, "Oh, that's rather nice," and not badly drawn either. You see, they get that. You see, you get that little extra.
Well, that's part of this production, isn't it? Because you have elements of traditional fairy tales with this, and with modern day satire. Was that fun? That process fun?
Yes, it was. It is fun, and I'll tell you, when we did a production of the Kingdom of Bling with the three schools in Tauranga, the boys' college, the girls' college, and the primary school. And I'd attended two of those schools myself, and the kids did it. The young chaps played all the roles, and a girl from the college played the daughter. All the instruments, they were played by the pupils. They were going through exams at the time, and they were fabulous. They bought once again, you say, to get rid of all the kind of fear when actors come. Will I be any good? Will I trip over? All that kind of stuff. I just told them they would have to have as much fun as they possibly could, and forget about anything else. And the young chap that played who was the Trump figure. He wanted to know how to play it. I said, "Have you ever seen a Martin Scorsese movie and seen all those gangsters?" And he thought, "I wouldn't mind playing a gangster. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "Where you go, have fun."
And he would have been an absolute success, no doubt. Richard O'Brien, it's lovely to catch up with you again. I wish you well. The Kingdom of Bling, it's coming to Christchurch. We'll put all the details on the website and the Facebook pages. And stay well, my friend.
Thank you, Chris. And when we meet up in Christchurch, which we will, and your mum, maybe, whenever we do together.
Lovely.
Excellent.
All the very best.
Thank you, darling boy. Bye-bye.